My name is Jackie Dewar, and I'm very excited to be here today. I am the program manager for Transfer Student Success, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Triton Transfer Hub today, as well as help moderate a panel of great CASP transfer students. So give me one quick minute to get my screen up and running. As we know, tech, it can always be a little jolty at times. So I'm going to just get this up here. And I'm going to present, and here we go. Okay, so again, what I'm going to do is share with you a little bit about the Triton Transfer Hub. And I really want to make sure that you have all the resources you need to be successful here. Before we get started, I do want to just congratulate you on being here and being a Triton transfer at UC San Diego. We are so excited to have you here. And I am personally really excited to hear about the great contributions that you are going to have to the UCSD campus community. Y'all are coming in from different backgrounds, you have different goals, and you all have something so valuable. And, you know, a key component of making sure that you are successful here is that we provide you with great resources. You're already a step in the right direction. You are a CASP student, and CASP has your back 100%. And the Triton Transfer Hub can help you out too. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Triton Transfer Hub here. Let's see. We're going to start by making sure you get connected to the Triton Transfer Hub. I want that for you right now. So that you always know what's going on for transfer students across the community. Then I'll share with you a little bit about the mission of the Triton Transfer Hub and our department. I'll keep that short, I promise. And then we'll dive into what UCSD transfers, who they are, and some of our services and programs for you. And then we have a lovely panel. I promise you, I know you want to hear from students more than you want to hear from me. So I'm going to keep my piece as short as possible while still giving you really great information. So here we go. Okay, so let's start. We're going to start by getting you connected right away. What is the best way to know about resources for transfer students? It's accessing our social media accounts. So I'm going to give you all a moment. I actually do want you to take your phones out while I'm presenting. I want you to scan this QR code. If you cannot scan it, then you can just go straight to Instagram or Facebook, or both if you so choose. And then find us on Instagram at Triton Transfers. Things we post. We post job opportunities, we post social events, we post things that are going around campus that transfer students might be interested in, whether it be social justice issues or you know, career-focused events. So take a moment, grab your phone, scan the QR codes, find our handles, and we look forward to interacting with you right away. So feel free to do this. I'll give you another couple seconds. If someone's already done, one of the things you can definitely do is you know, look through the account. Is there anything that stands out to you that you're interested in? Anything cool that's been posted lately? Feel free to share that in the chat so other people within CASP can know what are some of the things that are going on. One of the things I will tell you is that this week we've been working with the zone to do a wellness week through our social media accounts. So you're learning about financial wellness, social wellness, career wellness. And so again, little things like that, we know you want to get tuned in, so we are doing that with you all. Okay, I promise I'm going to put this slide up towards the end, so if you feel like you missed it, that's okay. I'll make sure it's up here again. I also want to share with you, though, more opportunities to get connected. So I mentioned we have the opportunity for you to hear transfer student opportunities through our social media accounts. Well, we also have a forum that we provide transfer students to engage with other transfer students or to ask other transfer students questions. And we use Microsoft Teams as the platform for this. Every UCSD transfer student, every student has a Teams account. You just log in with your single sign-on. So with your typical username and password, and this will get you access to our forum. You can reach out to transfers. You can post things that are of interest to you. You can reach out to our coaches if you have some small questions. So our forum is also available. You can scan this QR code, and it's also available on our website, which I'll talk more about other services on our site. But again, take a moment, grab your phone, and just get linked to our forum so you can access us anytime. And again, I'll show this at the end if you need some extra times. So that's how you can get connected right away. I wanted to share that with you right now. I also just want to share with you some of what the Triton Transfer Hub is all about. So Triton Transfer Hub, what we do is we support incoming transfer students as well as transfer students through your time here at UCSD. We support you academically, professionally, and socially. So that means we have resources and we have workshops and events that I'll talk more about, but we really want to make sure that you are ready to navigate UCSD's academic and cultural landscape from the get-go. So every now and then, you know, I might reach out to CASP if I hear that we're meeting with a CASP student to make sure you're connected to resources. And on the opposite side, you know, the great people in CASP are also working with us to make sure you're getting connected to transfer student supports. So it's a great partnership, and we're really here for you in that way. I also just wanted to share with you, there we go, sorry about that. I also just wanted to share with you who transfer students are on this campus. It's a fun fact that about 42% are first generation students. So it's possible some of you in this room are first gen students, and you know, it's really want to make sure that you are getting linked to the services you need. Most importantly, the incoming class. Some of you might not even realize it because here we are in our homes right now, but the incoming class is 1/3 transfer students. That is a big number. That's about 3,000 incoming transfers. So just know that you are not alone. It is a very large group of students who are trying to figure out their way here on this campus. And about 21% of international and 90% of veterans are also transfer students. So we have a very diverse, eclectic group. And the needs for you all as transfers are going to be unique to you. And here are some of the things you see here, right? So many students are commuting to campus. Many have work commitments. And sometimes those work commitments can, you know, get in the way of those academics. We're here for that. We can help you work through that time management and navigation piece. Many students have family commitments, and some do experience food insecurity, and some students are non-residential. And what we really want to do is make sure that you're feeling valued here at UC San Diego. And that's why we're here, and that's what we work towards to help through. So how do we do that, though? We do it by making sure that you are getting linked to a wide array of services. And so some of the ways we do that, when we are on campus, we do have a physical space. We have 2 physical spaces. We have one that is in the biomedical library building. That is our primary space. And we also have a satellite in the Price Center that we'll be activating soon. Now, I will tell you that we will be doing our services come fall. We will be fully remote. We will still be providing the same quality of service. It's just going to look very different. So for example, we're still going to have community spaces. I shared with you the forum. That is a way that we are making sure that you are connected with other transfer students. We're making sure you are getting connected to study space in a way, and you are getting connected to our peer coaches for resource wayfinding. I will share that, you know, usually we'll have snacks and coffee and free printing in our space. And, you know, we might not be able to provide that virtually, but we'll find a way to make sure that you're still getting the resources you need. Similarly, whether we're online or in person, we are all about bringing you all together as a community. And one of my favorite things to do are game nights. So whether it's online or in person, a picture you see on the screen is a game night that we did on campus, and we just had different stations of games. We've done that twice now. Digitally, we're all about Jackbox entertainment and just finding a way to get you, you know, working with others, but also sometimes you need a break, right? So we're here to make sure that not only are you engaging with others, but you're also giving yourself some mental energy by taking a much needed break. Now that said, you know, I know that you are incoming transfers that not only are you thinking about things like, let me make sure that my classes are lined up and that I know how to adjust to UCSD's curriculum, but you're also thinking about what do I need to do to be successful to get to the light at the end of the tunnel, whether it's you know, pursuing research or pursuing a job. And so we really cater our workshops to make sure that you are getting that support you need, to make sure that you are getting academically, professionally, and leadership-wise, all the support you need there. So as an example, we host a transferable skills workshop, which I'm a big fan of. I like puns. So yeah, we host a transferable skills workshop, and we work with departments too to host maximizing your second year events. So, you know, here you are, first year transfer. Next year, your needs are going to look a little different. And so we team up with your departments to really figure out how can you maximize that next year. And we make sure you're linked to resources so you are engaged with the campus. And obviously, though, we cannot do it alone. If you haven't heard, the amount of resources on campus is vast. There are so many. So what we do is we work with our campus departments to bring you transfer-specific support. So we've coordinated with tutoring in the Learning Commons to bring upper division coursework in. I mentioned transferable skills. We've done that through iLead. So not only do you get this cool workshop, but you can get CCR credit towards it as well. That's a co-curricular record, which we can talk about in a little bit. We team up to do wellness weeks with your colleges, and you know, we look to do office hours with CASP. So these are just some ways that we make sure that, you know, you are getting connected to other areas, still meeting your transfer student specific needs. And one thing I really want to share with you, if you haven't heard, we have peer coaches who are ready to talk to you about their transfer experience, and they're ready to talk to you about your goals. So if you are a student who's coming in and you're saying, gosh, you know, I really want to maximize my time here, talk to a peer coach in our office. They can help you get organized, coordinate your time, and really work through whether it's a big problem, a big curiosity, like how do I get involved in undergraduate research now, to more like how do I contact my advisor, you know, just like a quick question to make sure you're getting connected to a resource. Our peer coaches are here for that. So big or small, we've got your back. And they're trained on some basic advising and career support, so they can help you look at your resume, make sure that you're working through the registration system. And we are available, usually we'd be available in person, phone, and online. This fall, we're going to be fully online. We are happy to do audio meetings. So if you just want to turn your camera off because you are tired of being on Zoom, we respect that. We'll make sure that you are having the opportunity to meet with us. And then through our teams, as I mentioned, you can chat as well with peer coaches. Okay, this is very important. This is very important. You all are going to be given access. We're going to be able to get transfer students' email addresses. And I know you are going to get a lot of emails. It's just the nature of higher education. You get a lot of emails. You're going to get emails from the Triton Transfers email address. Some of them might say Triton Transfer Newsletter, read me. And I really recommend you read it, because within our newsletter, we're going to have, yes, updates within whatever we are doing, but we're also going to have events on campus. It's going to be organized so you can see what are job opportunities, research opportunities, social opportunities. And so if you're looking for things specific to you as a transfer student, this is going to be good information for you. So I know you're going to get a lot of emails, but I highly recommend making sure you flag these and read them through, at least skim them so you know what's going on for transfers. I see a question in here about how to contact a peer coach. Oh, and it looks like someone has already responded. The link is in the chat, but yes, through our website, you can connect with a peer coach at any time. And with that, you know, our website has a lot of information for you. I highly recommend you check it out. We are transferstudents.ucsd.edu. And there's some really cool stuff on our website. Obviously, I'm a little biased, but you know, through our website, you can actually find the new transfer student guide that was created by transfer students. And it gives you a week-by-week breakdown of some things you should be considering, both in terms of your academic, professional, and personal growth. We also have blogs that we started putting together. So if you are a little bit scared on what it's going to be like to be a transfer student, you know, we have a blog on that. We have a blog about what it feels like to be a first-gen Latina transfer student and what her experiences were like and her tips. So, you know, go in, read the blogs, definitely check out our transfer-specific resource page. We have a ton of resources in there. We're working on, you know, organizing it even better because honestly, as I mentioned, a lot of stuff on campus. We have what we thought was transfer specific. It's just a lot. So take a look. And we also have student spotlights. So if you want to meet current students who were transfers, you want to see faculty and staff who were transfer students, as well as meet some alumni, check out our spotlights page as well. So bottom line here, go to the website. Okay, cool. Another thing that we have on our website that's brand new that I'm super excited to share with you about is opportunity we're calling Transfer Network Go. So Transfer Network Go is a certificate program for you Triton Transfers. What we want you to do is have the opportunity to make those academic, social, and professional connections that you need to make that meet your needs and your goals. And we ask that you make 10 touch points within a quarter and really work towards building your network. One of the things that you will hear a lot is how important it is for you to be connected, how important it is for you to build your network. And by building your network, it builds opportunity for you. It builds leadership opportunity, resume building opportunity, letters of recommendation opportunity. So what we really hope for you is that you take advantage of this certificate program and make your 10 touch points so you can really get yourself focused on what's important to you here on this campus. We can get you linked to those resources here on this campus. So it's a program just for you that also builds your resume. So you can read about this on our website. I also want to do a shameless plug that October 19th through 23rd, we're going to be doing National Transfer Student Week, okay? Mark your calendars, 19th through 23rd, we're gonna be teaming up with departments across campus to host events all about transfer students. And so, you know, this is a work in progress. You'll see this on our website. You will see it's a work in progress. This is the second time where we have hosted National Transfer Student Week on campus. And we are really excited to see this grow. So mark your calendars, more to come. And then I do want to share with you, there are ways that you can get involved, both in terms of employment, but also volunteer, right? So there are ways you can get involved with the Triton Transfer Hub. A majority of what we do is run by students. So we have hired on transfer peer coaches and we hire on student assistants. The hiring process, I will tell you, don't get too excited now. The hiring process typically starts in spring for peer coaches and student assistants, but there's always opportunities throughout the year to volunteer for different events. And another way that you can really get involved is just make sure you're attending, make sure you are participating in events. So, you know, we can know who you are, because that makes a big difference. Again, it's all about that networking. Okay, remember how I said I'm gonna just bring it back really quick? So if you haven't, you know, feel free. I see there's a question in the Q&A, so I'm gonna read that. If you have any questions specific to the Triton Transfer Hub, please ask now. While we're doing that, I just want to reshare this screen with you. If you didn't have time to connect with us, you can now connect. While we're doing that, I'm just gonna take a look at the Q&A. Okay, so I see there's a question on enrolling in summer session 2, and who do I ask for help on that? I would typically recommend reaching out to your advisors. I would be curious if anyone else on this on this CASP group has any other thoughts on that, but I would typically start with your advisors. So you'd reach out through the virtual advising center. Anyone else want to chime in on that before? Okay. Okay, actually, Belinda, do you want to answer that question?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Yeah, so the question was trying to enroll in summer session 2 and who to ask for help. This question came up too previously about summer session 2. So summer session 2 starts on Monday. So it would be incredibly difficult, not impossible, but difficult. So Kyoko and any other students that have the same question about summer session, please reach out to us at casp@ucsd.edu. So we can help you assess what kind, the best plan of action for you financial aid wise, and knowing that summer session starts and any deadlines you should be aware of. So please email us if there's a specific reason you would like to start summer session. And we'll continue as the session goes along and our panelists start to introduce themselves to answer the questions in the chat. Thank you.
Thanks, Belinda. So I also see a question here about the Triton Transfer Hub that's asking about the biweekly emails and when we'll start receiving those and when those will start going out. They will start going out around September. So right now, if you're not getting anything, that's okay. We're not sending anything out over summer, which is why it's especially nice to have that forum, especially nice to make sure you're reaching out through Instagram if needed. We typically post things there. So the biweekly emails will come out then. Someone's asking, how do I get involved and how do I sign up? Great question. The way you can get involved is by reading those emails, because I will make sure they're going out to everybody. And so the best way to get involved is by seeing what's coming up and being present. You do not need to sign up. As a transfer student, you will automatically receive information from the Triton Transfer Hub and from Triton Transfers. We do not, I also see a question on Twitter. We do not have a Twitter, which I'd be curious to do, but then I fear I'd be the one posting. I don't know about that. Just so you know, again, we are in the biomedical library building first floor, and we're also going to have a satellite in the Price Center, all right? So I'll still be able to answer some of these questions that are specific to the Triton Transfer Hub as we go, but looking at time, I really want to make sure that you have the opportunity to ask questions to our panelists, because that is a really exciting group that we have here today. So meet your panelists. So today we have Trenton, Nathaniel, and Francine. And so Trenton, Nathaniel, and Francine, if you wouldn't mind turning your cameras on. And what we're going to do today, folks, is I have some questions in the bank, but I'm sure you have questions for our Triton Transfers here today. So feel free to put your questions in the Q&A. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read them as we go and then volley them to our panelists. So just to start, for introductions, can we have you all introduce yourselves, your name, your major, your college, and where you transferred from? And Francine, why don't we start with you?
Hi, everyone. My name is Francine Sotelo. My major is Education Sciences. I am in Thurgood Marshall College, and I transferred last year from Southwestern College.
All right, Trenton, you want to go next?
Hi, I'm Trenton Brooks. I transferred from San Diego City College in 2018. I just graduated with a BA in psychology, and my college was ERC.
Hello, everyone. My name is
Nathaniel. All right, Nathaniel, you want to take it?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Nathaniel Parada. I transferred from Southwestern College. My current college is Eleanor Roosevelt College, and my major is global health.
All right. Nathaniel, just so you know, I think at least on my side, you broke up just a little bit. So next question, I might have you reintroduce yourself a little bit, okay? Okay. So just to break the ice, I was wondering if you wouldn't mind sharing how did CASP play a role in your transition to UCSD? And Francine, do you want to start with this one?
Yeah, so I did CASP 101 last year, and going into UCSD, started in fall, I felt at home, and being able to make the connections and the resources and just learning about the school as a whole, I felt really prepared and ready to take on such a big leap coming from community college. And they're right there to like help you along. They're your friends. You can just go to them with any question and they're there to help you, rather than someone who didn't have CASP or resources.
Nathaniel or Trenton, do you want to take that next?
Yeah, I can answer that. So I'm gonna introduce myself again. I don't know what you guys heard, but my name is Nathaniel Parada. I'm from ERC, Eleanor Roosevelt College. My major is global health, and I transferred from Southwestern. And how CASP helped me transition was, I really found it helpful during CASP 101. I met some people in another internship that were also in CASP 101. So meeting them in the internship and then being with them at CASP 101 was very helpful, because instantly I made like a community with them. And then also the EDS 150, I found it super helpful being with Jesse Enriquez, who was that first quarter, I would like go to his like office hours and basically just talk to him about how I can improve my first quarter, just because I found it tough at first, and he was definitely a mentor for me.
Wonderful. Trenton, would you like to add anything?
Sure. So it's kind of cool. CASP 101 in 2018, I actually was paired with someone that ended up becoming my friend for the next 2 years, and is still we're still very good friends. And I got to know the staff a little bit, and then found out how approachable they are, and ended up going to them a lot during my 2 years at UCSD for help for all sorts of things. I ended up meeting some other people that were from my college that ended up also being CASP students. And I found that those ended up being my best friends throughout the 2 years there, and we've kept in touch and have graduated and moving on to pretty cool things.
Awesome. And so I stopped sharing my screen so you can see the panelists and everybody here. Wonderful. Thank you all so much. I have a follow-up question for you. And I'm going to go a little bit off script. I hope you all don't mind, because I had sent some questions to everyone in advance. I wanted to know, here we are, many students here are going to be doing either a hybrid of courses, or maybe fully online, maybe some in person. And so I was wondering if you all wouldn't mind sharing any tips or advice for those listening on how they can keep active and engaged through an online platform. So Nathaniel, do you want to start with this?
Yeah, I can go ahead and start. So I think a great way to stay active with your class would be definitely attending office hours, talking to your TAs, and checking if your class has SIs, which are supplemental instructors. And also what I've found helpful was on the Canvas website for your class, posting a discussion board and seeing who's willing to make a study group. And definitely just make a structure, be organized, and get some sleep for sure.
That's a really good idea. All of that is such a good idea. Trenton, Francine, do you want to add anything?
I would say if you don't do study groups, get somebody's number in the class so you can chat, or even an email. So you can, if you're not there for whatever reason, it's always good to have some point of contact with your peers. And also, if you can make it to discussion, go to discussion. And sometimes they offer extra credit at the end of the quarter, so it's a win-win there.
What do you think, Trenton? Anything else?
Yeah, so at first I found it really hard to do all online Zoom classes, and all of my classes took place on one day. I had 4 classes on Tuesday and 4 classes on Thursday. And I would just be like completely zoomed out by the end of the day. And it was hard for me to stay focused, but I found that the professors recorded the lectures. And so what I did is I started breaking up some of my classes. The ones that I didn't engage in as much, I ended up watching the Zoom lecture recorded on the next day or something like that. And sort of planned out which days I would do my quizzes and my homework and whatnot, because I was so overwhelmed on just like 1 or 2 days that I needed to really spread it out. Some other things that helped is there were some students that created Google Docs for the study guides. And so all the students kind of chipped in to fill out the study guides, and those were really helpful. Other things were finding out if I knew anyone in my class and discussing like different problems that I had with homework and whatnot. And I also really had to set up like a study desk workshop in my apartment, because I never really had that before. I just kind of worked wherever. But doing everything from home now, I really had to set up an environment for me to work in. So when I got into that environment, I was like, okay, now I'm focused, I'm studying. So those are some of the things that I did.
Yeah, that focus is really, and getting your space ready is really important. So I'm curious of the panelists here, can you just raise your hand if you took a community college online course? Okay, everyone did, awesome. So we have a question here about how do UCSD online courses compare to community college online courses? Trent, would you want to start with that?
Yeah, I found it to be completely different. You know, the online classes that I took at San Diego City College involved basically me reading all the information and material, and there was no videos or live lectures or anything like that. I didn't even know what my professors looked like. It was very challenging to keep up on all the work, but with UCSD, them doing the Zoom platform, you see the professor, you see the other students if they have the cameras on. You can also turn your camera off. Professors are cool with that. And having a video, either interactive or recorded, made it so much easier to stay focused and engaged. And I wasn't overwhelmed with all the reading. The professors were very, I felt like, reasonable about their assignments and whatnot, considering the pandemic and whatnot. And then I was also able to communicate with my professors if I had some medical issue or something going on. I was able to communicate with them and arrange, you know, some extra time to get some work done. So it was a lot more personable. It was very different than having an an in-person class, but it was so much better than doing online courses at City College.
That's really interesting to me. Nathaniel, Francine, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I was just gonna add something. They are completely different, like Trent said. In community college, I didn't even know who my professor was. I would just go on Canvas. But one thing that I think would be helpful, like some professors have been sending out like schedules that they think you should follow to do well in the course. And if your professor offers that, that's amazing. If not, you should definitely like try to ask them for that. That's my...
Francine, you were going to add something too?
Yes, I would say for me, what really helped was being able to navigate Canvas, because I used Canvas at community college. So coming in here, it was like, oh, at least I have one leg up on being able to do Canvas and just know how to work it. So I would say that would be the best thing from doing online at community.
Yeah, knowing that online management system can be really, really helpful. So we have another question in here, kind of shifting gears a little bit. Someone has asked, do you have experience working while doing school at UCSD? And I would stretch that a little bit, you know, so working maybe, what about any other commitments outside, and what was that like, working and or having other commitments? Let's see, Francine, do you want to start?
Yes, so I do not work, but I do have two children who are a little bit older. They are 11 and 13, but with also doing distance learning for school with them, I'm also doing homework with them and trying to do my own homework. That it just learning what time fits for you, figuring out a schedule. For me, I work better in the evening, so that's when I'm able to like have no distractions. Like Trent said, get a workspace that you know that's yours. And yeah, I work at night. I'm a night owl, so that's where I get everything done. And just knowing that I use a planner. I jot down everything, I print out everything, and then I copy and paste it on my planner so I know what's going on. But just keeping a schedule.
Nathaniel, Trent, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, could you repeat the question, please?
Sure, yeah. Do you have experience working while doing school at UCSD? So working and managing school, or other commitments in managing school?
Yeah, definitely. So when we were back on campus, I was working remotely. So definitely, like Francine said, like making a planner or having a journal where you have like a checklist on what to do. That's what I found very helpful. And another thing is, if you have the time, like reward yourself when you can, because we're definitely like, with the quarter system, it's so fast, but if you can afford to like reward yourself, like after a midterm, I think I've found it very, very beneficial. But definitely, like Francine said, is planning.
Yeah, that's that reward system. Oh, very helpful. Trent, do you want to add anything at all?
Yeah, so I actually had the pleasure of working as a CASP peer mentor with CASP, and I also did last summer's CASP 101 as an intern. And working for CASP, if you have that opportunity, they're extremely flexible, and you really work around your schedule and a little bit around the students that you're working with. But it was a great opportunity, great for my resume, and the flexibility was great. I also had to manage some health issues and surgeries and whatnot. And so in doing that, that was pretty unpredictable. And so I really had to communicate a lot with my professors of what was going on. You know, if there was a lot at the beginning of the quarter, I communicated right away what was going on. I also worked with DSPS in having accommodations that were prepared for if some of my health issues came up, what I could do about it, and the professors already knew in advance. So if you're dealing with something like medical issues, I recommend going to DSPS, communicating with CASP, communicating with your professors and interns, and then finding a job that has flexibility. Because you'll find that there might be times during the quarter where you have all your midterms in 1 week, or they might be, I had a class that had like 4 exams. And so they may be just like every other week, you may just be completely overwhelmed. So consider that you might really want to look at your syllabus and see what's going on before you decide what a commitment to job you're going to do or have a lot of flexibility.
Yeah, and I just want to stress, you know, it's a campus, people are here to support, and that's a perfect example of just that. You know, we want to see you be successful, and, you know, there's a lot going on that makes that happen. Okay, so I have another question for you that came in. This one is about adjusting to the quarter system. So it's possible some people who are attending today are not are coming from quarter to quarter. But I bet a lot are coming from semester to quarter, right? So I asked this question on what advice do you have for students that are adjusting to the fast-paced quarter system from semester, or maybe just advice on adjusting to UCSD as a whole. Let's see, Nathaniel, are you the next one? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so definitely, as Trent mentioned, it's very helpful to have your syllabus accessible, whether that be on your desktop or printed out, because the quarter system goes by so fast that you need to be on top of these due dates and see how much you need to study before that midterm. And whether you're taking 3 or 4 classes, sometimes like I've had 3 midterms in one day. So it's all about like being prepared and checking that syllabus.
That's very true. Yeah. Francine, Trent, do you want to add anything?
I would say one of my biggest fears going into UCSD was going into a quarter system. Going into 10 weeks. But I actually prefer it better than a semester because you just don't have any downtime. You have to be on top of yourself. You have to take accountability, and the planner is in the syllabus are gonna be your best friends, but you have to stay on track and there's no downtime. And before you know it, you're on midterms, and before you know it, you're in finals. So just kind of take your time, and sometimes you may not get a grade back that you like, but don't like dwell on it. Because if you dwell on it, and that you're just gonna consume you. So just keep pushing forward and take it day by day. Don't be too hard on yourself.
That's true. That reflection process is really helpful, and then move on. Trent, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, so again, on the syllabus, one of the other things that I did is as soon as I got all my syllabi, I immediately went to my Google Calendar and entered all of the important dates so that they were all compiled rather than having to go each time to my syllabus and whatnot. And that really helped me have alerts and be prepared and kind of know when everything was coming up. And yeah, the unpredictability, you might have them all in 1 week, you might have them all in 1 day, you might have them every week. Again, another plug for the DSPS. If you have those accommodations and you are scheduled to have exams all in 1 day, there is a possibility to have those exams spread out through the week or change dates or times so that, you know, if you're someone that needs accommodations, you don't have to take all your exams in 1 day. Let's see, the other thing. Yeah, I also enjoyed moving from the semester system to the quarter system because the semester system, I found that I would get really, really bored throughout the semester. And then I would like kind of stop what I was doing. It's my cat, sorry. And get really distracted. And the quarter system kept me engaged the entire time. So, but you do have to be prepared that there's gonna be something going on all the time. And, you know, don't try to plan a trip in the middle of the week or something like that, because you're going to have stuff going on all the time, but it'll go by fast, and just appreciate that. Thanks.
The best thing about this virtual world are the pet bombs that keep showing up. So I'm into it. So another question that came up is who here has taken a course load of 16 units or more? Okay, Trent, this person wants to know, what was that like?
So it's kind of interesting. The only time that I took 16 units was my last quarter at UCSD, which was during online learning. And I found that it was like, I probably couldn't have managed doing 16 when I was on campus, but doing it online, it was a little bit easier for me to do just because you're not running from class to class. So if your class is like 5 minutes after the one before, you're just logging into the next class. You're not trying to run to another class, which is very stressful. And yeah, the other thing about having some of the lectures recorded made it so I could go back and watch them at a different time rather than having to do it all in one day. And another thing about them being recorded is one of the best things for me for studying was I often watched the lecture over again, and that was what helped me study. And so I either watched live or recorded, and then I went back when I was studying for the exams and watched it again.
Yeah, that's really great. And thank you all who are submitting questions. Feel free to keep sending them in. These are great. We have another question here. It just disappeared. The question that came in was, how early do you typically get your textbooks? So let's see, Francine, I think you're up next.
I would say about a week before or two, maybe a week. I check all resources. I check the bookstore, I check Chegg, Amazon, and the bookstore you can, just like Community, you can rent and you can just pick up at the book window. But typically they're a little bit more expensive, but if you have to get it there, of course. But Chegg and Amazon is a lot where I rent my books from.
Nathaniel, Trent, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I'm not as good as Francine, like getting them a week to 2 weeks before, but I do get them by the end of the first week, whether that be rental, like Amazon rental, or a PDF online. And there's a lot of like PDF Google Docs of textbooks for like UCSD students. So hopefully y'all can get a hold of that.
Go ahead.
So I also either waited for the first or second week. I found that there are a lot of opportunities to get the books for really cheap or for free. One resource on campus, which I think they're still going to be using, you might want to ask the CASP staff, was Spaces book lending. And so usually during the first week or the week before, something like that, there's an application that goes out and you have really good chance of getting that opportunity to get the books. One thing to check is their library list to see if they actually have any of the books that you need and how many they have. And then if you apply and you get it, it's important that whatever time slot they give you, get there much early before, because there's a bunch of other people that got the same time slot that pick up the books, and you want to be in the front of that line to get whatever books that you have. Other things were, during this online learning, I found that for 2 of my classes, other students had PDFs of the books and they offered to put it in the discussion board on Canvas. And so I got 2 textbooks that would normally be like $100 for free in PDF form. Other things are sometimes the professors won't let you know until that week because they're a little bit behind on their schedule, but they may have some online book deal or whatnot. So it's cheaper than going and buying it. It'll be like an online engaging rental or something like that, but they'll arrange it so it's a little bit cheaper. So sometimes it's good to, unless it's a really cheap book that you can just buy on Amazon and get out of the way, I would wait to the first week and see what opportunities you can get. There's also Facebook groups that are like UCSD free and for sale, and that's where students will go and post their books, their textbooks for sale. And so that's another opportunity to go on there and see if they have anything.
I just have to say that for our viewers, you know, this is recording and you just heard some very valuable information that can save you money. So definitely return to this recording, you know, whichever minute we're in minute 50. So, and really make sure that, you know, you wrote all that down, and because everyone seems to have like the underground idea on where to go. Okay, so I have another great question that's come up, and someone has asked, I am not sure about what classes I have to take. Who could help me with that? Nathaniel, do you want to take this one?
Yes. So I definitely think you should talk to either your college advisor or like a major department advisor, and it'd be helpful if the students got a hold of the virtual academics, I believe it's center, but VAC. Send a message to your college or your major and tell them, hey, I want to know what classes to take, whether that be for like fall 2020. So yeah, definitely reach out to someone.
Yeah, definitely reach out. I'm looking at the questions coming in. I want to make sure we have about 8 minutes left. So let me make sure we touch upon a couple other things. One of my favorite questions we have here is, how did you begin building relationships with faculty, especially considering everyone on this call is new? You know, it's very intimidating to come in new, and you know, you're coming in as juniors. You're probably thinking about, you know, career building, letters of recommendation. So how did you all get that process started when it comes to building relationships with faculty? Trent, I'm going to toss it to you.
Okay, well, you have less opportunities online because in person we had like a coffee with the prof, dinner with the prof, or whatever like that. And so you could set something up to meet up with the professor that way. Now you could really only do that online, but you can message the professor and try to arrange something to communicate with them. The other thing is just office hours. And if the office hours don't work with your schedule, asking the professor if they could meet outside of office hours to arrange a schedule. Something else, I just wanted to touch on the previous question about knowing what classes you need to take. It's really important whether or not you did the iGetsy or whatever program that you did to make sure that you go to your city college and get iGetsy certified. That's something that a lot of people don't know that they need to do. And in order, it's not just having your transcripts transferred, you have to go iGetsy certified and then have that sent to the college. And then when you go on your degree audit, all of those classes will show up as being taken. Otherwise, when you go on your degree audit, it'll look like you need to take 4 years of classes, and it's really overwhelming. And then you'll be able to see on your degree audit, which you can go on Triton Tools to find that. It'll also show you what courses you need to take, what options you have. You can also look at whatever, like I'm psychology BA, I went on the psych website and found out what the requirements were. And then like Nathaniel said, talk to both your college advisor and your major advisor. Those are all really important things to do to know what classes you need to take and what you've already taken.
Francine, Nathaniel, do you want to add anything on this topic?
I'm just saying what Trent said was just do your own research. Kind of, I always like to print out, have a hard copy of like my major and what those are requirements. And then I'll go to the different departments and the courses I could take in my college, what I need from them. So just kind of lining up everything and just doing your own research and then talking to advisors.
Anything on the faculty side?
Utilize office hours. Don't be intimidated. They want you to come in, they want to talk to you and to chat. So definitely utilize office hours. They'll wait that whole time in the Zoom meeting online and they just want people to come in.
Yeah, definitely. Like Francine mentioned, if it's a professor that's in like your field of interest, like just go ahead and take the chance, go to office hours. And sometimes it's difficult because you don't really know what to ask. But a question that's helped me is like how was like your either not academic trajectory, but like what led you to be in the position that you are today, and that they like talking about what they've done, or like, and then maybe you could ask if they have any opportunities for you to either volunteer or be an assistant in any way. So
Awesome. So I'm looking at time, and my final question for you all is, where on campus do you feel like you belong? And what was the moment you realized that this was your place? And if you say CASP, which is good, I would say CASP, and is there another place you'd like to share? So let's see, who was the last person? Trent, I'm going to volley this question to you.
Okay. Yes, CASP office was one of the places that I did a lot of studying. Great place, and they had snacks. So I hope you have the opportunity at some point to be able to be in the CASP office. It was really cool. Also, I was part of PsyChi, which is the Psychology Honors Club. And so we had meetings each week, which when we went virtual, they went to Zoom meetings. That was another place that I made friends and got to talk to other students that were in my major. And then they had set up a location where we could have office hours and whatnot. So anything like that will probably be on a Zoom platform. So I'd recommend finding out if there's some sort of club or organization that has to do with your major or your interest, and get involved with that, because then you'll be meeting with other students that are taking the same classes as you or have already taken them, and have that opportunity to engage with people outside of class. And also, if you get the chance to study on campus, I love the biomedical library because it's less crowded and more quiet, if that's what you like.
Also, the Triton Transfer Hub's there, just saying. Francine, Nathaniel, do you want to add anything?
Sure. So I would say my go-to spot would be the Veterans Resource Center. I'm not a veteran, but my husband's a veteran, and he's also a student. So in the beginning, I was very intimidated about even stepping foot in there because I'm like, I'm not a veteran, I don't belong here. But they were very welcoming, and I really like that. They offer free printing, just like the Transfer Hub. But that would be my spot to go and just hang out there. And the Women's Center. They have very clean bathrooms and they have feminine products. So it's like, yay.
Nathaniel, you want to add anything?
Yes, for me, it would definitely be CASP, but also something I found very like made me feel at home, like, and motivational was the Chicano mural on the east wall of Peterson Hall. Just seeing a lot of like Hispanic and Chicano backgrounds, and seeing my like El Salvador flag up there, that really made me feel at home. And also the Raza Resource Center. It's nice to have a community that people are similar like you, and just where you can feel at home.
Awesome. So I'm looking at time, it's 1:59. That basically means we've reached the end. So as we wrap up, I have to say thank you, Trent, Nathaniel, Francine. Y'all are amazing. I really appreciate hearing from you. I'm sure everyone else here does too. If you're looking to get connected to the Triton Transfer Hub, you can start with us online, look for our newsletter, and we're here if you need anything. So thank you all so much, and we'll see you this upcoming year.
Thank you. Good luck, everyone.
Thank you to everybody. So that pretty much concludes day one of our CAS 101 virtual program. However, as a reminder, we have CAS chats happening at 2 p.m. I am actually dropping the link so you can access all CAS chat links and passwords should you and hopefully want to attend our sessions that will start at 2 p.m. But other than that, we will see you at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Thank you. And then Kimberly will go ahead and share a bit of information about the CAS chat session for undergraduate research.